Hi Reborn all lovers. So this is going to be a comparison video between August, who is the Kale sculpt, and April, who is the April sculpt. The Kale sculpt, I think, is by I think it's by Olga Ruhr, I think. And the April sculpt is by Joanna, and it begins with a K. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with the sculptors, but both of these reborns have been painted by the same artist about approximately 18 months apart. I believe I got April in these in September of 2019, and I've got August, who is the Kale sculpt, this month. So there's like an 18-month difference. So the first thing we're going to look at is the details that we don't have to remove clothes for. So I'm going to start with April's hands. So if you can see, and her little nails there. I mean, don't get me wrong, both of these babies have been done to Kesha's usual high standard. So they've both been reborn by Kesha Rayner. But artists are ever evolving, changing their techniques sometimes, or sometimes just improving in their techniques. So I just wanted to have an in-depth look so that you could see how far Kesha's come really, and have a proper look at both of my reborns. So April has some baby acne there. She was a custom made reborn, and I love her to bits, but I mean, I've only got the two reborns now. I would never ever sell either, so please don't ask, because I've had that a few times. And these are my forever babies. So next we're going to look at April's hair. Now again, I chose the style, so I chose for it to be wavy here, and the colour. So I wanted her to have darker hair. She's still been done to a very, very high standard, as you can see. You can still see some mottling underneath the way that you would be able to with a baby, because obviously they usually have very fine hair when they're babies. So she does wear, like, she 0 to 3 months sort of fits her better than any other size, whereas Kale wears like newborn best, because obviously he's only very small. I think this is up to 1 month that he's got on, so it is a little big. So here's Kale's hands, his face. So he also has this little scratch here, and he also has a bit of little baby acne here and stuff. So if you want to look at his ears, he's got really cute sort of pointy ears. I quite like them, almost like a little elf. Very cute. But if you look at his hair, this, I think, is where you can tell that Kesha has sort of honed her talent and has really improved. Again, both of them have painted hair, and both were painted by the same artist. So I've just turned his head almost all of the way around then. Again, even looking up the noses, you can sort of see some differences. Although April is probably a little bit dusty, because I haven't got around to getting a Q-tip to get up there. So I mean, a lot of the things that between them sort of stay the same. The way that she does the eyelids, I think, is very similar to one another. Her little baby acne looks the same. But I think that the hair definitely doesn't look the same. I'm going to put her dummy back in because I don't normally not have her with it, to be fair. Mostly because I haven't got around to getting something to go in her mouth. That's the only thing with having a sculpt like that where the mouth is partially open. Dust particles do get in there, and you know, you might keep them, or might keep your reborns somewhere, you know, safe away from pets, etc. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to stay pristine. So I am just going to remove April's trousers. Her thighs are a lot fatter, a lot bigger than the Kale's, than August, as I call him. It seems to be picking the details up a bit better than it did on my video, but that was my daughter using her phone, and I don't think it picks the details up as well. So you can see this is still, even though this baby's about 18 months old, the amount of detail is still very apparent. Both babies as well have very free moving limbs. I have noticed that about Kesha's work. We'll then move on to Kale's feet. August, I keep calling him Kale because obviously you guys won't know what I'm on about if I say August because we renamed him, but he's the Kale sculpt. So this is a proper look at his feet. So I suppose this counts as like a details video for him. I do have my flash on because it's now quite late, so it's dark outside. So it's not under natural light, unfortunately. I didn't get around to doing this video in time. I was busy today. So you can see the difference in the way that Kesha paints. There's more. See, I mean, it's not as red as what it's showing up on here, I've got to be honest with you. Because like I've just said, I've put my flash on so that I didn't lose any detailing. But that does mean that things are coming up pretty red. And they're actually not, as you can hopefully sort of see now. So Kale's obviously not as red as what he's appearing either. And his hands aren't, because I'm looking through the screen. I might actually pause this and come back to you in a different, and move them slightly. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I've actually turned my flash off now so that you can see they're not as, but it's not obviously picking up the details as well. The problem I've got is that my light's all the way in the middle of the room, and where I'm sitting on my sofa isn't near the light. So yeah, I mean, I still think it's coming up as a bit red when I zoom in to what it really is. So this is April, by the way. So now if we look at August's detail in the Kale sculpt. I'm hoping that you're really picking these details up. I don't want them to come across as more red than they are, because I really think that the way that Kesha paints is absolutely flawless and is perfect. But if you look at his face, can you see that there's a difference? There seems to be a difference in the style of the painting of the face. Wait for it to focus. Again, I'm going to just wait for it to focus. I actually prefer the way that she's painted my August to how she painted my April, but that's not to say that April's not perfect, because I really do think she is. Hopefully now you're not seeing the redness, you'll kind of agree with me. I'm not going to take all his clothes off because it means putting them back on again. And also, I don't feel like this is the perfect light to do an in-depth details video of Kale or of April. What I'm actually going to do is going to get a Q-tip tomorrow and just, because I didn't realise she'd actually got like dust in her mouth, and just sort of sort that out, wipe her over, and then do a details video. My reborns don't get touched. They're away from pets. They're in a crib in the corner of the room, away from everything, but obviously dust gets everywhere. And yeah, I haven't, like I say, she normally has a dummy in, but at some point she obviously hasn't, because it's she's managed to get some dust in her mouth. So I'm absolutely over the moon with August. I just love how little his features are. If now that you can see them next to one another, if I just move April over again, you can see the difference in the size of their heads. One sec. So I'm trying to get it so that you can see the heads side by side. So as you see, she's a much bigger baby, really. Not really in length. I think that she's like 20 inches, and I believe that he's like either 18 or 19. I know it was only last week that I did an unboxing video, but my memory's a bit rubbish. So there's only like an inch or two in it, as far as length is concerned. However, the kits themselves, she obviously has bigger limbs. So Kesh's filled and weighted those appropriately to her size, and the same with him. Obviously, if he'd have got an overstuffed body, then he might look a bit bigger, but then he's not going to be in proportion. And she's actually got the proportions here are pretty spot on, to be fair. I'm sorry, I know I keep panning over him, but I'm so in love with him. But here's April, just so she knows she's not been forgotten. And there's like the side view of her hair. There is similarities to how she's painted the hair. So I actually chose the style of his hair and the colour. When I say colour, I just picked out of pictures which brown that I wanted, but how she's added all the different layers of the different brands was absolutely Kash's doing all on her own, and I think that she is really, I think that she's at the top of her game right now. And I think that I can see her babies being more expensive than they previously had been in the coming years. I believe she's now done a prototype for, I think it's the Etta sculpt that she's actually been the prototype artist of that sculpt. So yeah, watch this space. If you want to look her up on Facebook or Instagram, it's Kesha Rainbow. Can't speak. Kesha Rayner's Reborn Dolls, and she's a really lovely lady. She strives to help as much as she can, but I do believe she has now stopped doing customs. I actually booked in for a custom before she said that she was stopping, so I managed to still get August. So Kale, now known as August, I managed to still have him done, but I didn't choose all of the details purely because I didn't need to. I trust Kesha. I think But like I say, I did pick the type of hair and the colour, whereas now I think that what she's going to be doing is just painting the doll kits that she feels like painting, I guess, and then selling them. So, but I'm sure that she'll still be just as successful doing things that way, if not more so, because as I say, she's now, which has only been recently, she's recently done a prototype that's as flawless as what these two are really. So, now and again you can find her, you can find some second-hand babies for sale of hers through Facebook and stuff. I know I've had them in the past. However, I really think that it's an amazing box opening that she does. The way that they're done, it's all amazing. If you haven't seen my reborn box opening for August, then please go and look through my videos. It was the one that I posted last week, and April's is on there from over a year ago still. So if you want to have a look what she actually came with, because she didn't come with this lovely outfit. There is a whole load of people on Facebook that have Kesha Rayner's dolls. There's a whole community of reborn doll collectors out there, and most of which are quite friendly. So if you've never had a reborn before, I would go look at some videos, find a baby that you like that's by the artist so that you can look the artist up. And that way, hopefully, you won't get scammed and people won't be stealing other people's photographs, etc. So, but I highly recommend Kesha Rayner. Both of these babies are the only ones I have in my collection. I wouldn't collect dolls from anybody else because why risk the disappointment? So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will have a more in-depth one just with Kale's details, August details, sorry, which is the Kale kit there. And then I'll do one with April's details the following week. So please stay tuned, guys. If you like this video, press the like button. If you want to see more of these videos, please press the bell so that you'll get notifications, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. I only have like 20 subscribers. I don't post very often, which is probably why I don't have more followers. So, but I'm going to start discussing a range of topics, like how to make your reborn look real, how to pose them, best places to go for first outings, things like that. So stay tuned and stay safe, guys. Bye.